Hi, this is Arpit, and I just wanted to do a quick review of the Ubuntu OS for Android, the software image for which came out today for Nexus devices. It's an interesting install, mostly because I think I was expecting it to be a lot more complete than what I ended up installing. There is a lot of missing functionality and a lot of placeholder images. So, for example, this lock screen is one big image. The time changes dynamically, but rest of it, the dynamically calculated UI and the tweets. I haven't tied my Twitter account there, so this is one big image. Um, there's also a lot of dummy data that comes packed with the app. So all the addresses and the calendar events and the phone numbers and everything and photo galleries, just so that the install feels a lot more complete. So which is fine, but still kind of interesting. Anyway, let's get into it. I think most of you have seen the OS in videos. There are better videos out there that kind of show the what the OS really does. But you can see like it has this like basically a home screen experience. Uh, Basically, you can pivot between different sections, and they have these five channels, or I forget they have some kind of name for it. Um, it looks nice. It looks visually pretty nice. On the left hand side, you have this quick launch, sidebar with all of your apps that you can get to really fast, and clicking on that would launch the app. Now, the thing that's kind of interesting is there's no really easy way of getting back home, or at least easy as I see it. As you can see, there's no buttons here, right? Not even the virtual buttons that the Google devices or Android seems to have. So the way you do it is actually by swiping left and then continuing swiping from the left and then continuing swiping all the way, which is kind of weird because you get into this like weird like kind of like curtains going across the window kind of experience where you have like multiple canvases kind of swiping in different directions, but they're not balanced or anything. So it just kind of just feels kind of chunky. It doesn't help that the animation kind of you know crawls to a halt at that point and makes the whole experience even more painful. Um, another thing to kind of notice that so they have this like an interesting idea here, right? Like so the notification icons. If you swipe down and start swiping, you can kind of get into this like section into the sections of the notifications. But this only exists till you till kind of this the window shade is like halfway through. If you swipe it all the way down, suddenly you can't swipe anymore. So to get to the next section, I guess you have to go back. I'm struggling with the animations here again, the performance here again, but I guess you have to go back halfway through and swipe around. So it's kind of weird because like I feel like it feels very constricted. Like you can't really just like swipe down and change sections or anything like that. And you get into a lot of these like windows coming at you from all different directions if your finger moves away a little bit. Okay, I'm a little lost. So let's see. Let's try that again. Okay. The other thing that was kind of interesting is that the messages. So this is nice, right? Like you tap it and you can like reply right in line and just be done. But otherwise, I mean, in Android and iOS, like tapping on this kind of launches or takes you to the application. So I'm not exactly sure how they imagined us or anyone going from here to the Facebook app. That's something that I haven't figured out. Um, Besides that, like the hubs are kind of nice. They look visually nice, but they feel very like App Story, right? Like a lot of this content isn't yours, and it's kind of promoted. So like if you look at the videos section, for example, it's a great example, like featured videos. So this is clearly something that they're pushing. Again, recent might be something you might have watched, but new releases again seems to be more from like store like content. Um, so same thing with the apps, frequently used, install, but then immediately down is like available for download. So it seems like there's a lot of like here buy this kind of thing, which seems to be a direction that Ubuntu has been trying to go. Um, um, what else? Besides that, oh, the sidebar, like this multitasking experience, it's kind of weird. They have a this menus that you can kind of. I guess this app doesn't have it. I wonder if this does. Nope. So if you swipe from bottom up, you're supposed to get like the app centric menus, which are easy to forget about. Um, and then this behavior, if you take it all the way up, it does something completely different, which is like takes you to like a multitasking experience and kind of where you can see like contextual actions to each of the apps that are currently running. Very weird. Like like again, like they're the same gesture kind of means different things uh, based on how much of it you complete, which is just kind of weird. So that's about it. I mean, that's my quick thoughts on this. One last thing. So I call this thing like the zone of ambiguity problem. So a lot of the um, a lot of the interfaces has these like carousels, right? Which look fine. But because they extend all the way to the edges, like often I'd started swiping from the edge, right? So this is fine. But the moment you start swiping, the edge is also like where you kind of swipe to get your recently launched apps from. So it's really easy to get, to start swiping the carousels and end up like launching a completely different app. So again, kind of a it'll be interesting to see how Ubuntu kind of handles all these kind of interactions. Will they change something based on user feedback or where they are in the process of declaring this as design complete? But that's it. Give it a shot. Word of warning, of course, it's very incomplete. I actually don't have a SIM card on this device, so I haven't tried making calls or anything. But I think like it has limited support for calls and data, so be careful. But otherwise, it's it's a cool interface to check out and learn from. Thanks.